It started with a whisper, a rumor that spread like smoke through Huntsville. At first, no one wanted to believe it. Melody Shari had already endured enough betrayal to last a lifetime. She'd been lied to, humiliated, and broken by Martell Holt, the man she once built a family and a future with. So when whispers began that Stormi Steele, the woman Melody had defended, uplifted, and called a sister, might have crossed a line no friend should ever cross, it felt too cruel to be real. But in the world of love and marriage, Huntsville, nothing stays hidden forever. Secrets have a way of finding their light, and this one? It burned everything in its path. The story begins quietly, like most heartbreaks do. Melody had been rebuilding herself, piece by piece. After years of tears, custody battles, and public humiliation, she finally seemed free. Her brand was growing, her music career was taking off, and most importantly, she had peace. Fans loved seeing her glow again, traveling, smiling, living without Martell's shadow over her. But just when it looked like she had finally found balance, something started to shift. Stormi Steele, once her biggest cheerleader, began acting off. The energy was different. The conversations felt forced. Their connection, once effortless, now seemed strained. Melody didn't want to assume the worst. She'd lost too many people to gossip and miscommunication. But still, something in her spirit felt uneasy. Stormi was supposed to be her sister in this messy reality world. They had cried together, prayed together, even celebrated business wins side by side. When other cast members threw shade, Stormi defended her. When Martell dragged her name, Stormi publicly took her side. So, when Melody started hearing tiny whispers that Stormi and Martell were spending time together privately, she brushed it off. She told herself it couldn't be true. Until one night, everything changed. Melody had been home late editing new content when her phone buzzed. A blogger sent her a message, "You might want to see this." Attached were screenshots, flirty texts allegedly between Martell and a woman saved in his phone under the name M.S. At first, Melody laughed. People are obsessed, she thought. But then she saw the area code: Mississippi. Stormi's home state. The messages were playful, teasing, and way too familiar. One read, "You know you still owe me that private dinner. No cameras this time." Another, "You always say that, but you know I like a man who keeps his promises." Melody's stomach dropped. The tone, the emojis, it was too close to home. And when she scrolled further down, she found a selfie, a blurred one, but the hairstyle, the background, even the nail color, it looked just like Stormi. That night, Melody didn't sleep. She went through every memory, every conversation, every subtle shift that now made sense. The missed calls from Stormi that stopped suddenly. The times Martell would go quiet whenever her name came up. The way Stormi once said, "You and Martell have such strong chemistry, no one could ever really break that." At the time, it sounded like a compliment. Now, it felt like a confession hiding in plain sight. But Melody wasn't going to jump to conclusions. Not this time. She wanted proof. So she did what any smart woman would do: she played it cool. For the next few days, Melody acted normal on camera. She smiled. She filmed. She posted motivational quotes online. But behind the scenes, she was quietly collecting receipts. A week later, the confirmation came from the most unexpected person: Martell himself. During a tense filming day, the two were arguing again over co-parenting boundaries. In the middle of their back and forth, Martell slipped. When Melody told him she didn't trust him around her circle anymore, Martell smirked and said, "Trust? You didn't mind when your friend trusted me." The room froze. Melody blinked, confused. "What did you just say?" she asked. Martell grinned, that same arrogant grin that had once broken her spirit. "You heard me. Maybe you should ask your girl Stormi about those business meetings we had last year." It felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. Crew members exchanged looks. Melody stood there, trembling but silent. Martell, realizing he'd gone too far, tried to backtrack, but the damage was done. From that moment, Melody's world shifted. She didn't yell. She didn't cry, not yet. She just looked at him with a stare so cold, even the producers said they'd never seen her like that before. Later that night, Melody reached out to one of her trusted friends on the production team. Quietly, they confirmed that Martell and Stormi had been spotted together more than once off camera. Dinners, hotel lobbies, even a trip to Atlanta during a business event. It was all starting to add up. What made it worse was the timing. These secret meetings had happened right when Melody and Stormi's friendship started to fall apart on screen. When fans were confused about why Melody had distanced herself, the truth was she had already felt something was wrong. Still, she kept it to herself. Until one day, everything boiled over. Filming for the new season had just begun. The cast was gathered at a group event hosted by Kimmy. The mood was tense but civil until Melody walked in. Everyone noticed the change immediately. Her energy was sharp, focused, dangerous even. She wasn't there to play nice. Stormi was seated across the table, smiling politely, acting unbothered. Melody didn't sit down. She looked directly at her and said calmly, "You got something to tell me?" The entire table fell silent. Cameras zoomed in. Stormi blinked, pretending not to understand. "What are you talking about?" she asked, forcing a laugh. Melody's tone didn't change. "I'm talking about my ex-husband. You know, the one you said you'd never entertain? The one you swore you had no interest in?" The tension was unbearable. Stormi's face shifted. "Mel, you're tripping," she said. "That's not even like that." But Melody wasn't backing down. She reached into her bag, pulled out her phone, and placed it on the table. "Then explain this," she said. On screen, a series of screenshots, messages, timestamps, and call logs. Stormi's phone number matched one of the numbers from Martell's records. Stormi's hands started to shake. "That's not proof," she stammered. "People fake stuff all the time." But then Martell walked in. Producers had told him to join late, unaware of what was about to happen. As soon as he saw the phone, his face went pale. Melody turned toward him, eyes locked. "Tell her it's fake," she said. Martell didn't respond. He just looked at Stormi, a long, heavy silence that said everything words couldn't. The entire room gasped. Kimmy covered her mouth. Maurice muttered, "Oh, damn." Stormi jumped up, tears filling her eyes. "You're not about to do this to me on camera, Mel. You're not." Melody's voice cracked, not from anger, but pain. "You did it to yourself," she said softly. "You smiled in my face, came to my home, hugged my children, and all the while you were lying to me. You were with him." Stormi's tears turned to fury. "You don't own him, Melody. Y'all divorced. You act like the world revolves around your pain." But Melody wasn't having it. "It's not about ownership," she said. "It's about loyalty. You can't call yourself my sister one day and sleep with the man who destroyed my family the next. That's not womanhood. That's betrayal." The crew had to step in. Stormi stormed out, screaming, "I'm done with this fake narrative." While Melody sat down, shaking, trying to hold back tears. After filming, the internet exploded. Fans were divided, some saying Melody was being dramatic, others insisting Stormi had crossed a line no friend ever should. Hashtags trended overnight: Team Melody, Stormi Steele exposed, Martell mess. Stormi went live that same night, crying, denying everything. She claimed Martell had twisted her words, that the messages were innocent, that Melody was using her for a storyline. But the tone didn't convince many. Her tears felt rehearsed, her explanations scattered. Melody, on the other hand, stayed silent. That silence was louder than any live. It was the silence of someone who had seen too much, who had given too much, and was done begging for respect. Weeks passed, and more receipts surfaced. A blogger released hotel records allegedly showing Martell and Stormi checked into the same Atlanta hotel within minutes of each other. Another leak claimed production had footage they couldn't air because of legal threats. And through it all, Melody's fans rallied around her. They flooded her comments with support. "You deserve peace," one fan wrote. "Cut them all off." But behind the strong exterior, Melody was hurting. She had already lost her marriage, her trust in men, and now she had lost one of the few women she believed in. In interviews, she stayed classy, never saying Stormi's name directly, but her words cut deep. "You learn that betrayal doesn't always come from enemies," she said. "Sometimes it comes dressed as support. Sometimes it hugs you before it stabs you." Her calmness scared people more than her anger ever could. Because when Melody gets quiet, that's when she's truly done. Stormi's reputation, however, took a massive hit. Her business pages saw a wave of negative comments. Some customers boycotted her brand, calling her disloyal. Others defended her, saying women shouldn't fight over a man like Martell. But no one could deny her image had changed overnight. Martell, meanwhile, played both sides as usual. In one interview, when asked if he and Stormi had been involved, he smirked and said, "We're all grown. I don't owe anyone explanations." That smug answer only fueled the fire. Fans dragged him online, calling him toxic, manipulative, and the reason good women turn cold. The next time Melody saw him, she didn't argue. She simply said, "You'll never destroy me twice." That line went viral. It became a quote shared by women everywhere who had experienced betrayal. Melody had turned her heartbreak into power against something Martell could never understand. But deep down, she was tired. She had spent years proving her worth, defending her truth, and protecting her peace. And now, she had to do it all over again because of someone she once trusted like family. One close friend later revealed that Melody cried for days after the confrontation. Not because of Martell but because of Stormi. She loved her like a sister, the friend said. She really believed they were building something real. That's what hurt the most. In the weeks that followed, Melody stopped filming with Stormi altogether. Producers begged her to reconcile for the show, but she refused. "I'm not performing pain anymore," she told them.